Well, we just crashed. Yeah, but I'd say that's not ready for prime time. Let me just see. I'm just trying to get everything back to as it was. It just literally froze and then kicked me out. So basically, when I closed BG Ollie's window, everything just hung. So I'd say that's absolutely not ready for prime time. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you'll find your way here. Hey, Thorsten, lovely to see you. We've been live for a few hours. Unfortunately, we just got kicked off. Now, Spotify. Not Spotify. Let's get sure we've got something going here. All right, so. All right, the music should be working, so that's a good start. Voice should be working, so that's a good start. Camera seems to be working. People are finding their way back. I do apologize, guys. Oh man, hopefully some people will realize in a minute that we were brutally kicked off the stream. Okay, BG, I think we'll test that on a private stream later if you don't mind. It's definitely got legs, but not if not if it's going to kick you out. Welcome, Aquatic Borealis. Welcome, Neil. Welcome, Corrosive Abuser. Welcome, BG Ollie. Welcome, Thorsten. Good to see you. I don't think you were part of the previous stream, so it's a very, very good thing to see you as part of this one. Welcome everybody who's realised that the other stream is defunct. Yeah, but it's a bizarre Ollie. It was kind of all cool, except you obviously couldn't hear my direct audio to you. So you were getting the delayed audio off the stream. So we could hear you perfectly after I unmuted you. So at the very beginning, we couldn't hear you at all, but that was me. And we could see you in real time. So the only thing that was wrong was that you weren't hearing my live audio, which is meant to be being sent directly to that window that you've got open. I'm not sure what it looks like because I've never invited anyone before, but you should, in theory, be able to see me and to hear me. So that looks like that didn't work. But yeah, thanks for trying. Doesn't send me the broadcaster to. Okay, that's that. Right. Yeah, that'll be it. Okay. Thanks very much for trying. Sorry we couldn't make it work, but it's definitely not ready for tonight. Although a bunch of other people have arrived. Obviously got a little a little alert. Hey, Jimmy Sandwiches, lovely to see you. We were doing a chill out stream to pass the time of day whilst I kind of reorganise my modular, which is fab. So don't expect too much, but that's really it, really, with some nice chilled music, chilled vibes, chilled chat. And it had been running for about 3 hours. And then we decided the whole purpose of the stream, actually, to be honest, was to check out Streamlabs rather than StreamYard, which is the video thing that we're using, because they have just launched a multi-person version where you can invite people to chat like we do with StreamYard on the Sunday live streams. And it didn't work. Kind of almost worked until I switched it off, and then the whole system just broke down. Aquatic Borealis. Yes, the Moog Matriarch would be a good start. It's a dangerous step to take, though, honestly. It's the gateway drug, isn't it? I wouldn't class myself anywhere near being a modular expert, but I've definitely bought into the modular spending and the kind of the modular ideology. This is kind of version 5 of this. I think will be my last version if I can't kind of get it to be a workflow that I can make stuff with. I'm kind of confident I have, because I've gone around the houses, I've gone through loads of modules, so I'm selling or have sold a bunch of bits and pieces, replaced them, and I think what I'm going to end up with, as I was saying on the previous stream, is something I can work with, which is fundamentally based around a mixer, which isn't normally a modular thing, but a mixer with aux sends, delays and echoes. It's the effects that I've been missing. Simple sounds, but with lots of kind of on the fly effects is where I'm missing out, I think. If it doesn't work, then I'll go back and do something else. Back in the box with me, I think. Okay. Yeah, I love the Matrix Brute. Absolutely love the Matrix Brute. Although Polybrute would be lovely too. Everyone I've spoken to who has a Polybrute are like, yeah, this is the nuts. Yeah, maybe get rid of the Hydrosynth and get a Polybrute, and then sell the Matrix Brute. Although people tell me they're different beasts. Which is a typical synthesizer's opinion on should I get rid of this. No, it's completely different. But it's like a bigger version. No. Don't ever get rid of that. It's a future classic, mate. Welcome back, Ian J. Cole. Thank you for finding your way over here. We've lost about 5 people. Lost in the midst. Oh, cool, I'd forgotten this. Pamela's new workout. On the rear has a picture of Pamela working out, which is really cool. I do apologise for the quality of the audio and the quality of the picture. I'm on a very, very basic camera, and I'm actually talking into the mic on the very basic camera. This was kind of thrown together just to do see if a live stream in the day might work as a kind of chill out, help me along with my working, help me along with my rewire type of thing. And I'd say it was a success. So I'll definitely be doing this again if you fancy it, because there's enough people working from home or retired or semi-retired or, you know, bubbling around, particularly also people in the US on different time zones who can just pop it on in the background, keep me company, which is really cool. But yes, Jimmy Sandwiches, quick aside, Dom, are you sending your deluge back to get the retrofit LCD screen? I am indeed. I am one of those people who said, you do not need a screen for this. All you need are these buttons. These buttons are the screen. Don't worry about the lack of display. It'll all be good. And then I'm also with the first in line to update the display, going, this is a game changer. It's fantastic. Every deluge should have a display like this. So I am the first to admit, I guess I was wrong. I mean, you can use it without the screen. But yeah, I'm first in line, if I can be, to do the retro, to get the retrofit done. Talking about Aquatic Borealis and a modular, accidentally we've managed to get everything out, which is a brilliant start. Only 3.5 hours down, so I think a round of applause. It's a dangerous thing to get into, so don't let me put you off. You don't have to get into modular, but it can be quite addictive, and the trouble is you need bits and pieces, lots of bits and pieces, and they all add up. And you might end up, depending on how you work, you might end up in a situation where it does nothing for you. I would say you can potentially sell everything as well, so it's not necessarily investment, but you know, the market is reasonably okay until recently, and the market for second-hand modular kit's taken a bit of a tumble recently, particularly because people are finding, you know, gas bills and electricity bills are rising. People don't have spare cash, so just bear that in mind. However, I'd say I would say the Moog 32, which has been mentioned, is a good one. What spare range is the is it the Crave? No, what's the red one? Hang on a second. Neutron. I was hoping I could see it. Is it the Neutron? The Neutron, I think, is an amazing synth. And a little bit cheaper if you want to get into it, and it has patch bays and stuff. That's definitely worth a look. But yeah, just bear in mind, it's very easy to get carried away, and usually the next step, if there's some disposable cash around, is to design the ultimate thing that you want in modular grid. Try and get it all at once, and then realize, you know, a little at a time is definitely the way to go. Definitely the way to go. But I'm saying this with a big modular case and a load of modules in front of me, so it's you know, hypocritical. But just be careful if it's new to you, because it's very addictive. Welcome back to almost everybody, I think, which is kind of cool. A few people missing. Is it me? Oh, is it me on left channel? Quite possibly, because when I rebooted, hold on, it's reset everything. 1 second. Okay, you're right, that should be me now in both speakers. Weird how it didn't save it as well. The whole thing crashed, basically. We were just testing out multi-people screens. But thank you for that. That should now be both channels. Okay. A live rig based around mixing and muting works well, probably why the TRA-S, MC707 and MX1 were. I would agree there. That's it, I would agree. If you had both channels of media in, you might be listening in mono. The matriarch is a sort of complete instrument in and of itself. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was just trying to, my gateway was actually the Mother 32, and I watched some really good videos about, you know, how lovely they could make it sound, particularly when they came out with the DFAM and the Mother 32. It was kind of neat, but again, it's not cheap, you know, for those two. Not cheap at all. Tonal axis, I left for 10 minutes and all your modules are gone. I have to say, if it was 10 minutes, you arrived with only 3 modules left in the rack. Surely. Okay, boys, put some calls. See you guys, and all the best. Cheers, Torsten. It's absolutely brilliant to see you. Kent Spong, should you not get a professional? Well, Kent, well, I thought you were ill. It's a good start, though. We're onto a winner here. Now, Ray Malone, who goes by another name in the chat, and a very, very warm welcome to you, Kent. Thank you very, very much for joining in. We thought we'd do a chilled out afternoon stream, watching me take stuff out of my modular. We've discussed hot cross buns and the fact that they don't have hot cross buns in the US. I think you could launch Spong's Buns. So yes, those are hot cross buns. Those are a UK Easter-based treat that's now taken over the world, or taken over the UK for the whole of the year, and my favourite food in the world. Hey, Culture of Ghosts, thanks for finding us. Yeah, we crashed and burned just as I hit generate new link for Ollie. Everything just hung, basically. So it was the end of that stream. Ken, I hope you're feeling well. I really, really hope you're feeling much better today. We still want to try and do an NPC, Inky Teaches NPC later if you're around at 7, and then I don't know if you're going to do your stream later, but that would be awesome if you're well enough to do that. I know you've both been suffering, so I hope you're getting better with that. And thank you so much, as always, for your amazing support of the channel and for Great Ormond Street Hospital and everything. You and Ty and Neil Wharton, between you, are just the most amazing donators. Thank you. Plus everyone else who's donated as well. It's really, really kind of you. Like I say, on Sunday we now have over £7,000 Great Ormond Street, which is cool, and also a nice chilled afternoon. So, like I was saying just before it crashed, the HCB looking a bit mouldy. HCB. Hot cross bun. I'm with you. Yeah, it's okay. It's just come out the pack. Fresh pack of 4 this morning. I was looking in the rack for something called an HCB, like a high current bus board. There you go. Your high current bus board's a bit mouldy, mate. Needs a clean. Yeah, anyway, we crashed. So thank you for finding us again. This is not helping me learn a load of cover songs for Sunday. Oh, mate, sorry. It's not actually helping me sort out my modular rig that much. But it is. I tell you what, it's an immense amount of fun. So, we're now going to whiz off and see. Let's have a look if I can find. That's me. All right, I've even lost the overlay. Hang on. The screen share overlay's gone. There isn't even a save button, but everything went. Literally everything went. So hopefully, if I can run a screen share, an application window, that would do. Window capture. I want to share the modular grid picture of where we're going. Can't even find that now. There it is. All right, hopefully pretty soon I will be able to show you this picture. There it is. There it is. Okay. That looks good. I think we've got it. So if I hide that, we should be okay again. All right. Don't forget to bang a like if you do particularly like it. We're on a new stream now. I get double the likes, I guess, or half the stream, or something like that. Not sure. Don't eat it, Dom. I'll test it for you. No way! Honestly. Get it toasted with a good inch of butter. Yeah, there is that as well. Everyone's getting hungry. Before a couple of you guys, I was explaining that this really is my favourite food in the world. And some days I've just had 4 hot cross buns, and that's been my kind of food for the day. You have 4 hot cross buns for breakfast and nothing else. You're still hungry. You're still not hungry by the end of the day. So it's the most bizarre thing. Culture of Ghost, I was ticking things off the list until Tom appeared. Sorry about that. Kerrygold, yes, Kerrygold butter. Man, toasted hot cross buns, wow. What's the butter that John Lydon advertised? Actually, that's a big question, isn't it? Because he should be on everyone's lips. I think it was Kerrygold. Anchor, was it? Anchor butter. What power does modular grid give you for the new setup? That is a very good point. Line in the middle. So it's got nearly 3 amps plus 12 and 1.1 amps minus 12. Does that mean I have to add those together? So the combined would be the positive plus the negative, putting it more like 3-4 amps, right? Is that right? You know more than I. You just flip back. Have I gone again? No, it should be right. So we're either on Country Life. Country Life is the one. We're either 3 amps or 1 amp, or 4 amps rather. Okay, Andrew, safe journey to Derby. Andrew's off to the Emon. If, hang on. Who was talking about the amount of power? I've lost it. Oh well, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. So if anyone knows how to read the power, whether you add the positive and the negative together to get it, that would be worst case, right? So that would be 4 amps. I'm actually not sure what these are rated at. Have a look. Usefully, it doesn't say, but I can find them, I'm sure, if I look them up. Ow. I think that's okay. If it's 4 amps and they're spread equally, you get 2 amps on each. I think that was all right. I'm going to arrange them anyway. Meanwhile, I think you're right. I think they are. Let me look at a picture of Meanwells. Yeah, they are. So they go 2.8 to 3.5 milliamps. Okay, all right. So let's call it 3 amps, 12 volts plus 750, 12 volts minus. That's kind of the middle of what they're rated at. So we are fine for the plus. We're fine for the minus as long as they're spread nicely. As long as it's spread nicely across. I might have to just double check on whether like one of the rows has way more than any of the others. But between the two of them, there's more than enough power. Yep, nice one, Ollie. They are called a Meanwell power supplies. Kent Spong, Eurorack is a rabbit hole that has been beckoning me in for some time now. And I think it's winning. And yes, Tone Love, don't mention that, please. Oh, shouldn't be that expensive for you, as you could make your own modules. Yeah, Kent, have a chat with BG Ollie. BG Ollie's PCBs and stuff are insanely good, and Tin Can Synthman as well. Oh, go on, you should do it. Actually, why don't you get Kent? No, why don't you get Ty to lend you his rack? Play around with. I don't think he uses it for anything, and it just sits there. Right. I'm going to go back, way back to the modular grid reference of what we're going to end up with. This is it. So it's going to have the 2 input modules on the top, the PAMs, 4, the microphones. I'm going to put them in without screws to start with, I think, as Ray Malone was saying. Alright, so let's get back. I can always flip it on and off here to get it working. Oops, sorry. You off Tone Access? Or is corrosive off? Oh yeah, gotta go. See you, Tone. Thanks ever so much for joining us. It has been a brilliant afternoon. And not just for me. I mean, it's just been really good. I've really enjoyed this. Hopefully it's been as good for you, like you say. I'm not saying my stream's brilliant. Yeah, it's been brilliant. I've been brilliant today. So brilliant. You look like that. I mean, it's just like it's a really cool way of spending the afternoon chatting. Right, I'm going to go and grab some modules to go back into this system. I think what I might do is the middle first, which is going to be the mixing section. Then we can see what the new modules look like and then go backwards around that. So, that is one. Andrew Brooks, safe journey. All the best for tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to listen to you or see you even better. Text me if or message me or whatever if there's a link that we might be missing or something, and we will rebroadcast you in the middle of our MPC live lessons. Tell you what, build your own modular lessons from Kent Spong, featuring BG Ollie's modules. The ace. I bet you do amazing modules. Actually, the knowledge that you've got, Kent, with the if you're unable to build the epic synth straight away because of the component shortages and stuff. We talked about smaller versions of it. You could do modules. Just bespoke them, one off. Aha, I've missed a bit of chat here. Yeah, I had, as Kent's saying, I had already designed a poly controller unit for Euro that never made it to build, but then I'm sucked in forever. You will be sucked in forever, but this could be a way of at least, prototyping the oscillators, or, you didn't even have to produce many. Oh, that would be amazing. Hey, Carl Bedford, lovely to see you. Andrew Brooks gets out of MPC lessons again. Yeah, this is true. The PSU is RT65B, 2.8 to 3, 12 to a half to 1. Yes, exactly. I think that's where I got it, BG Ollie. So we're trying to work out what power supplies they are in here. So it's 12 volts, 2.8 to 3, right? So if you just said 3 to be on the safe side, that's definitely more than enough. The negative 12 volts is half an amp to an amp. So if you say 3/4, 0.75, that's enough. I think it's 1.1 that we're drawing on the negative side. And 5 volt DC to 8 amps, we're drawing minuscule amounts there. So as long as it's spread evenly between the two, which I might have to check, I might have to do a kind of delete some modules and see what the current draw is, then we should be absolutely fine. These are they're kind of all right, these power supplies. I've never ever had an issue before anyway. I have an issue opening this box though. Oh, here we go. All right, so for your own safety, do not use this device before reading the manual. Boom. Alright, so this is the output. This is it's called the M1. That's the output of the mixer, which of all the bits you can actually get away without if you so wish, because you could take, what they have is channels which you can buy in groups of 4 or in ones. They have a group which combines all of the channels, and then you have an output which the group goes to. If you had multiple groups, you need an output, but this system only has one group. It'll make more sense when you see the group, but you don't need one of these if you take the output simply from the group. But what this does give you is balanced outputs. It gives you a pre-fade listen on headphones, so you can hear a channel before putting it live, which was quite important. And it has a nice big knob, and we all know big knobs are very important. So I will keep the bits and pieces of that in here for now. All right. So this is the group. These are all made by Frap. And they open weirdly. Yeah, now I know what I'm doing. All right, so the group. Oh, this is packaged a bit differently to the others. I am synthetic. I always have been, but I've been terrible at it and ashamed to go live with any of it. But now, having sold off some modules and replaced them with these, and with others to sell too, I think I may be able to jam with the best of them. And like I was saying before, if I can't, then that will be my the end of my relationship with Modular, and I will sell it all to Kent Spong. All right, so I feel like I'm an unboxer. That's what I'm doing, isn't it? I'm a YouTube unboxer. All right, so now there's one more thing to add, which is another one of these, but basically channels into the group, into the output. What the group does is it connects together multiple channels, but it also gives you the send and the return for the stereo sends and returns. All right, so again, if you've only got one of these, which is a stereo 4-channel mixer, you can use this out of the box, but you don't have the returns. You don't have the stereo returns, but you do have the sends. You know, you could mix it in another way. So you can effectively use that as a standalone. You don't get pre-fade listen, you don't get some of the bits and pieces, but it will work. However, there's another one of these to come, so they both go into the group. The group handles the sends and the returns. Here, stereo has an overall volume knob for the group, and then forwards it into this, which gives you the pre-fade listen. So they all bus together to give you quite a nice, hopefully a nice sounding desk. Hey, we've got synthetics. Are you able to kill those? Hopefully you've killed those tinders. For some reason I can't post into my own chat, which is a bit of an off-putter here as well. Cannot be performed inside Streamlabs desktop to interact with chat. You can open this chat in a web browser. I guess I can do that. Let's do that as well. The ladies are here. Oh, brilliant. Nightbot held the ladies. Thank you, Synthetic, for doing that delete. That's very much appreciated. Mr. Wiggly Cool, I need to prepare something for a live drop-in event in SF next month. Nervous to say the least. Some great talent there. I should wear a character mask. Thank you, Synthetic. Wow. A live drop-in event in San Francisco. That sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, so there's one of these. And all of these. Man, I really hope this makes for an epic sounding system. I'm looking into Modular as a sort of hands-on modulation experience would help me learn synthesis more in depth, plus the sounds are usually better. Yeah, that's a good start, aquatic. I can recommend, honestly, the Behringer 2600 as well to learn synthesis. I mean, that's a semi-modular. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, actually. That's a really good jumping on point, actually, if you're interested in the 2600 side of things, because you've got 3 oscillators, you've got lots of bits and pieces there. Okay, so there's the other set of channels. So there is... It's a brilliant way of learning subtractive synthesis as well. When you open it, doesn't matter how good you are at synthesis, it'll take you at least half an hour to make a noise. Find the right thing to turn up. Unless you're a genius. The number of comments in the Behringer forums with I've just got a 2600 and it's broken. I can't get it to make a sound. All right, here's a picture of where you put the knobs. Oh yeah, it's working now. Okay. There's going to be more mixer than there is modular at this rate. The last frap thing in this box is a Pro Audio Summon distribution, which is a multi really, a mult. And this is going to do side chaining, that's the idea. And maybe some other stuff too. Cheers, BG. Thanks ever so much for trying out the... Yeah, sorry it didn't work. It would have been lovely to have you on the stream. Search BG Ollie on Etsy for these amazing modules, PCBs and stuff that BG makes. The other thing that's meant to be happening today is to connect all this together needs a special lead, which wasn't included. The ones that come with it aren't the right leads for a multi setup like that. So that was meant to arrive today. And I don't think it has. Not that it's too bothersome. Let's just check. 2 active parcels. Honestly, DPD's app is just silly. Will be delivered by today. Fair enough. Just check my mail. Yesterday, this stuff was arriving. I was literally happened to be outside standing by the front gate when I got the text to say, sorry, we couldn't deliver it. We've left it at your local depot. It's like, what? Literally. You're not even here. But that's DPD for you. I'm sure there are. Well, to be fair, they took it straight there and it was available same day from the local depot, which was just around the corner. Depot, it was like a post office around the corner. So that was kind of cool. But no, nothing on my deliveries. Fair enough. Okay. Hey, Paul. Nice to see you. So, that is the mixer side of things. Keep these boxes safe. I'm definitely going to have to eat my hot cross bun now. It's been a long time. The best bit about these is that sometimes when they bake them, all the fruit gets stuck in like one corner. So when you eat it, it's like, you get all the fruit. Obviously that makes the other bits a bit bland. but you get an extra fruity kick. I think everyone's managed to find the new stream after we exploded before, so thank you. I think I only had this built in time for Inky to play it. Honestly, it doesn't look like it, does it? It's a fabulous way of spending an afternoon when you've got the time to do it. But it's not going to happen, is it? Although, to be fair, Inky's going to teach me MPCs, which I'll have to stick the other camera back up for or something, but it's not long as well. It's 7 o'clock. I have to do this for another half an hour or so, and then move some cameras around, I think. But definitely up for doing this again tomorrow. Sorry, you can probably hear me eating. I'm not the nicest ASMR stream in the world. Oh man, Paul, I'm sorry to hear you're unwell. Oh no, I've just looked up what that is. It's a disease of the inner ear that gives you vertigo, tinnitus, hearing. Oh my gosh. What a terrible thing. I'm so sorry to hear that, Paul. I hope you feel better. I hope it comes and goes a lot more than it comes. I don't know if that's a kind of constant thing you're suffering from, or whether it's you know, you get attacks of it like gout or something. Must be like you're feeling kind of wobbly and dizzy all the time. Terrible. I got my MP all set up ready for Inky's show. Right. I'm definitely going to have to kick it off in half an hour and get mine all going. She wants to do a test, I think, half an hour before to make sure her camera works. This case is made by a company called Lake, or a person called Lake, and it was owned by Polypores, and I bought it from him on Facebook Messenger without knowing who he was, and then we got chatting, and I realised he was a super cool, makes amazing modular music, and he came on the Sunday live stream, and that's how that whole thing came together. A really, really super nice guy. You know, you can tell sometimes people are just really brilliant just from messaging them. And you can also tell that maybe some people aren't quite, you know, up your street, if you like, by messaging them as well. I think it's made, if I search Lake Modular Homes, that's not it, Lake Modular Cases. Yeah, it's casefromlake.com, and they're made in Italy. And yeah, it's lovely. It's really, really good. It has you can literally carry it like a suitcase, and you can leave it pretty much patched up as well, if you so wish. What I would say is, funnily enough, it's meant to be flat. Excuse me. It's meant to be this bit down on the ground, so that you sit here and you look up the slope, the slight slope, because it has feet on the bottom. It doesn't actually have feet at the bottom of this side, and I'm going to put some feet on there because I prefer it to be up like a wall. If it's down kind of mixing desk shaped, it's actually quite hard sometimes to see in enough, you know, in between some of the knobs to see some of the marks and stuff. But originally it was obviously spec'd to be flat, and then maybe something coming up here with someone sitting looking in from the top like that on that side. But yeah, it's a lovely case. I mean, it's solid, it's wooden, does the job, and it's, yeah, nicely put together. And it's yellow, that's the most important thing. Italy makes sense, as well as Germany, for a yellow case. Right. So according to the Modular, I know I've just looked up cases, not modules, haven't I did call it the banana case. The next thing is the Bitbox and the Hermod. Okay, so bitbox. Okay, bitbox. Don't tell me I've got extra space here. Oh, no, I haven't. All right, so yeah, it is heavy, although I haven't moved it around that much with the front on it. It's really just been kind of sitting here whilst I've been working on it. But yeah, I don't think it's particularly practical unless it's I've never played live with Eurorack. You know, I might do an EMOM, I might do something, but it's not really practical to take around and do gigs with unless it's something special, and I was intending to do that. But it is a nice. It's probably the most practical case of this size that I could find, to be honest, because the power supplies are lighter than a lot of them. You know, it is wooden. I guess that probably weighs slightly more maybe than some of the aluminium cases, but by the time all the structure's in there, they tend to have a wooden inside anyway. So yeah, it's a good, solid, nice thing, and you could carry it around if you so wish, definitely. But in terms of EMOM, my idea is to pair it with the pulsar, have the pulsar coming in to the whole thing. You know, we're about to put the extra bits in that will allow sort of 2 external signals to come in, and then try and have everything routed to here, so it's like the control center. We shall see. So a HerMod, if you're not aware of the HerMod, is a sequencer. Bitbox is a sampler. So the HerMod sequencer is really cool. You can plug in MIDI, like a little MIDI keyboard, and it will immediately convert the MIDI into CV and gate. So I think in terms of keys rather than voltages, so I can literally play stuff and you don't have to worry about quantizing the voltages or the gates and stuff. It will come out in Eurorack language, and you can then sequence that and play it and so forth. So yeah, it's a really neat thing. Took a while to find as well, as in to find that's what I needed. They're all available everywhere, but there's so much out there. You have a lot of research to find out what might work. Bitbox is a sampler that I've had for ages. They do a smaller one now. In fact, Andrew Brooks has got a smaller one, which would be great because it would take up less space, but you know, it is what it is. If anyone wants to swap a big one for a small one, I'd be very happy about that. Yes, synthetics. Thank goodness for fixed hole rails. In some ways, fixed hole rail, but basically in here there are nuts that move around, so you can line them up to wherever you want, which I quite like. Fixed hole rails, they just have lots of them which you can line up, but it can be a bit of a pain sometimes because you need to make sure that you don't keep all the nuts at one end, so by the time you get to the end that you need it, you've run out of nuts. The only thing with these is that you can sometimes squeeze an extra 1 HP out. Kind of maybe racking one slightly on top of the other or something if you're absolutely desperate for the space. But no, they're quite neat. They feel, you know, they give you a bit of give and take if you want to squeeze a wire out somewhere or whatever. But they're quite neat. It's a great studio. So yes, it is. I like the fact that it's upright. It works flat as well. It's just a bit too flat for me, and like I say, it just needs a couple of feet on this side. Are you in Brighton, Mr. Wrigley Glitterhoof? No, I'm not far away from Brighton though. We're kind of near Gatwick, so if you come up from Brighton about 20 miles towards London, then that's where we are. Around Gatwick is probably the closest big place, but it takes me 20 minutes to get to Brighton if I need to go there. It takes about 35 minutes on the train if we need to get into London, or quite a lot longer driving because of all the traffic. Paul Arturo says, Peachy showed up at our monthly jams with a dope for 9U rack filled matching forklift for transporting. Yeah, I can imagine that. A 9U, wow. Maybe search it, not a sliding nuts fan. They all hide behind the one big module. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I like them. I was quite pleased that this had sliding nut, because obviously I bought it second hand from Polypores, and it's like, I don't know. They slip a little bit, I guess, is quite nice. I'm also a little bit worried of pulling the threads on the fixed ones. I have a Dope rack mount, and actually, you know, they're very, very well made. I don't think you'd ever pull a thread, but it's always in the back of my mind that I could always drop a new nut in or slide it off if I broke one. Anyway, we're getting there. Yes, there are EMOMs in Brighton, absolutely. Open mics tend to be non-electronic. They could be singer-songwriter evenings. EMOMs are people turning up with, you know, a pulsar or a piece of musical kit or some modular racks and making electronic music. Could be dance, could be ambient, could be all sorts. That's the specific difference, and I know there are some in Brighton. We should try and get a central. I think there is a central place. Hang on, let's have a look. EMOM. Oh, there's someone who's now invented EMOM workouts. EMOM. Electronicmusicopenmic.com looks to have a list of all the upcoming events, or maybe not. I'm sure we can find them out for you. If you do some Googling, Google EMOM Brighton, it'll definitely come up with something. Also, drop a note to Andrew Brooks or whatever, they'll know what's going on. Synthetic, I started with IntelliGel 7 new cases after having a couple of Dope for 2x84 cases that were too chunky and IEC power only, so less flexible. I'm ready to be live. I'm ready for live without gear, but not mentally. Yeah, well, that's me. I actually am building a collection of cases. I really like the smaller ones to fit into specific jams. Good one, David Serchek. I think that's buying. Oh, well, that's kind of okay as well. I'd like to end up with a really small case with a little bit of, you know, quick live setup. And the idea is to try and get there as well, but to work out what I actually can get away with from here down. Still have the big one, but actually be able to take something out and play. Excuse the eating noises still, I'm very sorry about that. We have terrible camera and terrible mic right next to my mouth. Okay, so next on the list we have got, let's do the lower one. No, let's do the upper one. So we've got input, mic folder, and QMMF. So input module. Wave folder, wave folder, wave folder. It has gone. Where is the wave folder? There it is. Okay. Okay. So we have a Pico input. We have a micro fold, which is a wave folder. You have the wonderful red stripe on the wrong way round because they're Schwayman. My Make Noise skiff has sliding nuts and can be a real pain. Okay, I also use The unusual M2. Oh, also uses M2.5 instead of M3s. Oh, okay. I have a David Serchek. I have a lovely Pitts Modular 208 structure case. If I ever play live, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Mr. Wiggly, Moog announced a Mooga Fooga effects plugins. Oh, really? 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 Hang on, let's have a look. That's quite interesting. If that's true. Unless Keith in Watford is winding us up. No, he isn't. Mooga Fooga effects plugins are a reinvention of Moog's classic analog software pedals. Let me just share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. Mooga Fooga is a reinvention of Moog's classic analog effects pedals, bringing a legendary tone and musicality to your door. So those are the originals, and that's the new one. Oh, that's pretty a pretty interesting take and a good idea to make some money, I think. I don't think they'll do badly with that. I mean, basically, the original analog Mooga Fooga analog delay, not the mini Fooga, but the Mooga Fooga delay used bucket brigade delay chips that just aren't around anymore, and as such was trading for huge amounts of money. Clearly, they can't find any more stock either. So producing those is a good idea, I think. How much is it? Oh, it's a 7-day free trial. Do I need an iLock? You do not need to purchase an iLock, but you will need to. Okay, so it's running under iLock. You don't need a physical iLock anymore for a long period of time. And nowhere here can I find what it costs. Look, we can buy now. Okay, I don't know what that sign up was, but it's $149, $249 MSRP. Make a standard retail price, and it's iLock protected, and you can buy it now. Well, that's quite interesting. I mean, they're lovely things, the original pedals. Am I $150, £150 excited about software version? Yeah, I probably am. Got enough plugins to last me a lifetime now, so probably not that much. I own a mini Fooga, which is a mini version of the delay, and it's nice as a pedal. I've used a few times. It's sort of dark and whatever, but it's just nice, I guess. If they've nailed the sound of the delay in particular, I think the other effects are nice, but the delay in particular has got that warm, you know, can't think of the right words to describe it, but you know, oozy kind of delay. It's the dark bucket brigade delay, classic kind of. It sounds like a Moog delay, you know, the way that those filters are squidgy and dark. You know, it sounds like one of those. If they've done that, then I think that's going to be a nice effect to have in the arsenal. Plus all of the others. I think they've got phasers. There's a low pass filter, which you've kind of got if you've got another 32 or something like that. Ring mod. What else do we have? Where's the list? Phaser. Animation. I haven't seen that one before. The Murph. That has a drive, a graphic filter, and an envelope, and a pattern, like a looping envelope thing. Okay, so you can kind of loop stuff. All right, interesting. The cluster flux is a bit of a classic, I guess, because of the name, more than anything else. and the delay with another file, I think. Yeah, cool. Well, if you get all of those for $150, that's not bad. That's not bad, is it? What do we think in the chat about the new Moog pedal as an FX plugin launch? And I've missed a lot of chat going through all of that. MPC, if you're creating multiple sequences from scratch, note your track order needs to be the same in each sequence if you want to combine them later. That will make more sense later, I think, when Ink is explaining how it works. Yeah, Paul Artola, Moog plugins sound dangerous to my wallet. No way I can resist those plugins. David Sergek. Oh, it's the same. Okay. David Sergek had every one at one point, down to 4 physical figures. Well, you're lucky to own the originals. My word. 7 figures for yeah. Yeah, very good. I sold most of my fugues for kind prices. Didn't want to monetize my fellow musicians. Well, that's very, very good of you, David Sergek. Oh, we did. Cynthia, did we talk about Truss yet? We did the live announcement because just as I went live, she called a press conference. Didn't get into detail, to be honest, but I think Truss It Up is the new, you know, please don't truss it up, whatever you do, is a new Pete Tong, really, isn't it? Should have bought an MF set 10 years ago when they were 4 for $1,600 or so. Absolutely synthetic. There's a lot of that, though. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're all on top of the current wave of enthusiasm for the Timberwolves. I think it's a fabulous collection as someone who has had most at one time. Murph and Clusterflux. Yeah. Well, David Sergek, you're probably perfect position to tell us if they're any good or not, to be honest. It's a 7-day free trial. Oh, that's why. So it's not a subscription model, right? It's $150. Could be $250 for the whole thing, but you get 7-day free trial to try them out. So you can't really do better than that, to be honest. You definitely need to grab them for the free trial and see how they compare to the real world versions. You would expect them to be super good. Right, let's just whiz back into away from the Moog Fugues, back on the modular grids. Sisters, Just Friends, and the Quad VCA. So, Sisters, Just Friends, the Quad VCA. Quad VCA and the Sisters. There's my sisters. Where is my sister? Time for David Bowie. Looking for my sister's radio. It's gone. Here it is. Here is my sisters. It is a record. Next shortest was in the 1800s, around 110 days to Truss is 44. Yeah, it's totally a record. And there's, you know, without getting political, I mean, she really just did it herself. I don't have I have the MIDI expander of the Pams, but not the other expander. I think there's another one, isn't there? I just have the MIDI clock, the thin one which has got MIDI clock and run signal on it. Keith in Watford, you're going home. Thank you for joining us for this afternoon. I'm going to only stick around. Which guy died? Kev Human. Yeah, I'm going to stick around for probably only 5 minutes or so, to be honest. I'll see if I can. I'll tell you what. See if I can slot these in quickly in the last 5 minutes to end up with a big rack. That's a good thing, because we'll be back at 7 with the Inky stream, and that is going to take a little bit of thought to get that running. So, Just Friends Sisters Quad VCA. So Sisters goes in there. Just Friends, which needs a bit of a tightening up in the back. Quad VCA. Then we've got the Zadar PAMs and another input. Synthetics, I heard some prurient details about this lady behind the scenes, wild stuff. Yeah, you know what? It makes me think of someone who's, in the nicest possible way, doesn't really know that much, knows their own limitations, knows, just doesn't say anything really, doesn't get caught out, only really talks about stuff they know about, and somehow makes it through, and then doesn't really understand half the stuff, so has never been forced to comment on it before, and then you realise that there's no substance behind, there's no broad knowledge of everything. There's a bit of knowledge on some things, and you know, it's a bit like pretending to be able to read. You know, you get away with it for ages, and then suddenly you actually have to. I can't read. You know, so that's okay. Well, you can learn, but well, actually, I have no concept of anything other than a minuscule amount of stuff that I know about it to do with how to run the economy or whatever, and even that's questionable. So I listen to it advice, and I have no idea whether it's good or not. Anyway, don't get me started. But yeah, it's yeah, it must be very depressing to be such a failure at being a prime minister. You know, to feel a bit sorry for her, but I don't. If you see what I mean, I feel sorry for her mental state, because that's got to be rough. But she kind of brought it on herself, so you should be big enough to be able to deal with it. And certainly, it's at the expense of some terrible, appalling stuff that has happened banks-wise and all the rest of it, and yeah, awful. So no sympathy there either. Anyway, I forgot. Just Friends Quad. Zadar rather, Pamela's input. Zadar, Pamela's input. Zadar, Pamela's input. Zadar, there's Pamela's. And I've just realised I need the run stop Pamela's breakout board or the MIDI. Oh, cheers, Keith. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I said that. Sorry. Which guy died? I've said that as well. Leadership and altruism are now in an all-time low on planet. Yeah, absolutely. There was a good comment made by one of the Tory MPs about, you know, sick of people ticking the right boxes because they want to further their career rather than they believe in the box that they're ticking. I.e., you know, a lot of people supported Trust for leader because they thought that she would win and therefore they wanted to be promoted rather than, you know, thought she would be bad. Ken Spong will be doing a show later. Synthetic, thanks ever so much for joining us. This seems to be a good time to kind of finish the stream. In a moment. That needs to go in there. Now my problem I've just hit is that I need space to put this Pamela's breakout here, and I don't think I've left enough space for it, so I'm going to have to think again. But in the meantime, got Quad VCA, got Zadar, which is an envelope generator, quad envelope generator. You've got another input. Now the trouble here is I don't think there's enough room for that. There isn't. So we're going to have to think carefully about that, because I think I need that MIDI breakout in order to clock the Hermod from the PAMs. Goodness me, I almost sound like I know what I'm talking about. Oops. There you go. And cheers, David Sochek. Thank you very, very much for joining us. At the bottom, we need ES9, the Soma. Let's do the other end. Mix 1, Rample, Morphogene. Okay, the mix 1 is next door because it wasn't in the original case. The Rample, the Morphogene. The Piston Honda, Laqualic Iteratis, Piston Honda, a Laqualic. The other Laqualic, the Soma, and the ES8. Okay, so other Laqualic, Soma, all right, so the Soma isn't here as well, that's next door. So we are missing Rample's under there. We're missing a mix 1 and the Soma. But that's not bad. Not bad. I think that looks like a pretty good case. You can borrow your saws if you want to modify your case for expansion. Can you imagine the mess I'd make trying to expand this case? My God. Right. 2 minutes past 6. Is that an at least Andromeda module? It kind of should be, shouldn't it? I know someone who lives very close to me with an Alesis Andromeda. Yeah, I wonder what it sounds like. Never tried yet. Okay, so I better just go and get ready for MPC lessons. So back on this channel in an hour, Inky the cat is going to be teaching me and Kent how to work our MPCs, his MPC-X and my MPC-1. My MPC belongs to Inky, so it's not even mine. She very, very kindly lent it to me. And the lessons are, you know, a part of that whole loveliness that Inky is. So do pop back, just in case you haven't hit like or subscribed, smash them if you wouldn't mind. And I will catch you all. I might do this again tomorrow if it works. It's such a chilled afternoon. I think if I concentrate on trying to get more done, although to be fair, a bit of a rush towards the end, a bit of a push has got me over the edge, and I've actually got, you know, almost there. Now I think I'm pretty bad. My one thing is got no space for this, which is a bit of a problem. Or is it? I could even have some flying leads coming out of the side somewhere. I've done that before. Pop that, because there's not even any power on this. hidden it inside and then taken the MIDI from there. Anyway, we can cross that bridge in a moment when we come to it. I've still got to put these 2 new modules in this side. Thanks ever so much for your time. Big love to everyone in the chat. Thank you. Been loads of people in and out, loads of friendly faces, lots of kind of niceties and love and really positive vibes. So thank you very, very much all for that. I will try and set up a decent mic and a proper camera, I think, for next time. And we might make more of a regular kind of afternoon chat if people are up for it. It was really good fun. We've done about 3 hours, maybe a little bit over, but the first stream failed after we tested out that, so we'll be back on StreamYard, I think, for later. But thank you so much. I will catch you all next time. Hopefully catch you in and out. If not, catch you tomorrow or next week. Sunday stream as well, if that's the only thing you catch. I haven't decided on who's a guest yet. No? I better get that sorted as well. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks ever so much, and I will see you